So on June 9th, I went on Twitter and I asked you guys, give me a 2022 NBA draft take to react to for a video. And thank you to the 150 people that replied. I have a ton and I'm going to be reacting to 10 today. A lot of these were also asked by multiple people, so hopefully I answered your question as well that you replied to on Twitter. And if you guys do enjoy these and you want to see me maybe do these with free agency predictions from you guys or trade predictions or stuff like that, let me know down below as well, and I can maybe do these more frequently on the channel. So yeah, just drop a like if you enjoyed, and let's get into it. So the first one comes from Aaron, and he mentions that the Cavs will make a big push next season if they draft Ochai Agbaji, as he will push them over the edge to a 7th seed contender. I believe that means, yeah, they're going to go from the 7th seed to a contender next year if they take Ochai Agbaji. He will show shades of how OG is for the Raptors. So he's already comparing him to OG Anunoby. And now I do like Ochai Agbaji, and I've mocked him plenty of times to the Cavs. I don't know if he's the sole piece that will move the Cavs from a 7th seed, a team that ended up losing 2 play-in tournament games, to a contender. Will he provide the much needed bench scoring? Yes. He will probably be better, I think, as a scorer than Cedi Osman next year. They're also going to be getting Colin Sexton back if they do re-sign him. I think he can be an immediate better offensive player than an Isaac Okoro potentially next year in his rookie year, because Ochai Agbaji is a very experienced college player. I don't know if he's going to be as good as a defender as like OG Anunoby is, or that when he came out of college out of Indiana, but I do think he could be a valuable scorer for a team that is looking to win now next year off the bench. So if you're looking kind of that middle of the first round, you're looking at maybe a Chicago, you're looking at a Minnesota, a Cleveland, a Charlotte. That's where I want to see Agbaji go. I don't think he's going to make the Cavs go from a 7th seed to a contender, but I think he would help immensely. Next one is from Caleb Rodriguez, and he mentions that Jaden Ivey should not be drafted by the Kings. They don't need him and should draft a big man. He also mentions he's biased and he wants him in Indiana. Hey, I would love Jaden Ivey in Indiana as well, him in the backcourt with Tyrese Halliburton. But the thing is, what big man would they draft at 4 if the top 3 go? If it's Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, and Paolo Banchero in the top 3 picks, what big man would they take it for? Would they go Keegan Murray? Maybe they love Keegan Murray, and maybe they because they would like someone that could shoot the ball. Keegan Murray can really shoot the ball, and if they think that Keegan Murray and Domantas Sabonis' like defensive limitations can be justified with Davion Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox in the backcourt, then hey, maybe you do that, and that is a possibility. I don't believe that yet. I still think Jaden Ivey is going to go number 4, and there's still a small chance he could go 3. So it's like, really, would you bet on that Jaden Ivey goes 3 or he goes 5 or later? What would you bet on? And I do think if he makes it past Sacramento, probably Detroit would scoop him up there at 5 unless they're so sold on Shaedon Sharpe. I don't know. I just think that Jaden Ivey will go 4, maybe higher. I think there's a better chance that he goes 3 to the Rockets and he falls to 6 from the Pacers. So we up Wolves 2022 champions. Actually, you know what? I was like, all right, I'll answer all 3 of these. There's another one of these as well. So he mentions that Kendall Brown becomes the steal of the draft. I think, like, yeah, you can have him like in that Patrick Baldwin, Jaden Hardy that were preseason like top guys in this draft and fell down. I don't think so. Off just kind of his offensive limitations at Baylor, I don't know what his offensive ceiling would really be. It also really matters on where he gets drafted to. I like Blake Wesley as my guy for that. He also mentions that Tari Eason becomes the best defender. I could be on that. I think he's going to be a great middle of the first round pick. Maybe he goes to Cleveland in the lottery or Charlotte in the lottery as well. Who knows? Maybe the Knicks love him. But I could really see him in Minnesota or Chicago as well. And then he also mentions that Keegan Murray averages the highest point per game in this rookie class. So if we're going to go based off a rookie season, hey, if he goes to the Indiana Pacers, I could definitely see that. It really just depends on where some of these guys go. But if we're going career points per game, who knows? Maybe Chet's never going to be a 20-point per game scorer. Maybe Banchero can be, but doesn't play as long. Or Jabari Smith. You know, that is not a terrible take. I would take probably highest point per game out of anybody in this class. Yeah, I think Chet will be the best player, but I don't think he will be the best scorer. I think I would go with Jabari Smith on that one, though. CP mentions of one of the top 3 picks will be a bust. So basically, like, if you're looking at that B word, it happens almost every draft class. I mean, if we can go back, like, it's too quickly to say in 2021. But, yeah, 2021 looks great. So for 2020, we'll see what happens with Wiseman. I mean, it's way too soon for that. 2019 looks pretty good with RJ Ja. We'll see what happens with Zion and his injuries. 2018, Marvin Bagley looking like a bust. So, like, one of these picks are guaranteed. You go back to 2017. Marco Fultz solid player, maybe a bust for the number 1 overall pick. But hey, Lonzo, Tatum, they're also solid. 2016, you had Simmons, good player. Ingram, great player. And then Jaylen Brown, I believe, went 3 in that one. 2015, Jahlil Okafor. 2014, Jabari Parker. But those are due to injuries. So yeah, I think there's a good chance that either one of Chet, Jabari, or Paolo Banchero doesn't work out due to injuries or skill. Yeah, that happens in almost every draft. Garrett Towner says, Nikola Jovic is a top 10 prospect, but people discount his athleticism because of methodical European player stereotypes. So, I don't know. I like Jovic a lot, and I've been on Jovic for a while. You guys know that. He's a top, I would say, 20 guy for me in this class. Top 10 is tough, because if you're looking at the top 10 guys, at least I haven't really came up with my final draft board yet, or my big board. But, I have Chet, Jabari, Banchero, Ivey, Sharp. I'm an AJ Griffin believer. Love Keegan Murray. Love Dyson Daniels. So that's already 8 right there. I could honestly see Nikola Jovic being a better player than Jalen Duren. I could see him being a better player than Johnny Davis. I do like Benedict Mathurin as well, so that's at least 9. I'm also a big fan of either the Jeremy Sohan, Tari Eason type players. I like Ty Washington. So yeah, maybe he is closer to a top 10 prospect than he is at being a top 15 for me. I like a little bit of guys in the later rounds, or later. I'm a truther of Jaden Hardy. I do like Blake Wesley, who I mentioned earlier. So, I don't know. I think top 10, because of the European player stereotype, yeah, we've seen that with Luka, and that's why, he should have been the number 1 pick. He didn't go number 1. That's why maybe Jokic went in the second round. So, yeah, I think he could be a top 10 prospect. I don't think that's anything crazy to say. Next one is from AOS Grizz. He says, Jaden Hardy, so just mentioned him, will become a top 5 player in this draft and will be a steal somewhere around 18 to 28. So, I think this is also a big, fit, right? Everything kind of matters where you get drafted to. If Jaden Hardy goes to the Miami Heat, love that. If he goes to a great, player development team, maybe the Milwaukee Bucks where he gets to shine, or it really doesn't have to have too much shine on him and he can really develop, or a Denver or a Memphis. But if he's going to a team that maybe just throws him out there into the fire right away and he struggles his rookie year, he's up and down between the G League and he just fades out of the league after his rookie contract, that is a possibility with some of these teams that draft him. And who knows, maybe Memphis isn't a great fit because they have 10, 11, 12 guys that would be ahead of him in the rotation, and then maybe he just never gets that playing time, and hey, he ends up in his 4-year rookie deal without really any notable minutes or meaningful minutes throughout, that contract. So I think it really just matters where Jaden Hardy goes to. Top 5 player, I will not say that's going to happen. I think he just struggled mightily this past season for the G League Ignite, and there's just I think my consensus top 4 are pretty much the top 4 in this class. You have Chet, Jabari, Paolo, I have Ivey ahead of Paolo, but then 5 is really up in the air for me. I'm leaning towards Keegan Murray. We haven't seen Shaedon Sharpe play, so there is a lot of question marks outside the top 4, at least in my eyes. So yeah, Hardy could maybe take that 5th spot eventually, or one day. And then speaking of Shaedon Sharpe, DeAndre the Big Pod mentions some of these names, man, on Twitter. He mentions that Shaedon Sharpe will fall to pick 7 or pick 8. Now, this is something that I've seen, I think, recently in the updated, was it the Jonathan Givony ESPN mock? So he had, I believe, Keegan Murray going 5, and then I think he had, was it Dyson Daniels going 6th, and then Shaedon Sharpe going 7, or there were so many 6 that I don't think was Shaedon Sharpe. So I feel like Indiana wouldn't be that team to take him. They just don't seem like it is. So I think if Detroit passes on him, I feel like he could fall to New Orleans. So this one isn't a crazy take. I just think I just can't see Indiana taking him. I feel like that's not their style. They're a very safe team, and not seeing this guy play 1 collegiate minute might be tough. So yeah, you know what? I could see that if Detroit passes on him for a Keegan Murray. So Mika has 3 ones here. This is what I mentioned earlier. Sohan goes top 10. This is in the athletic mock draft. I'm not seeing it right now. I'll see more maybe with these pre-draft workouts and we find out who teams love. Not seeing that right now. Patrick Baldwin Jr. will be a 2nd rounder. I'm on that. It sucks because he was a projected top 10 pick going in the year, but I'm on that too. And Mark Williams goes before Jalen Duren. That one we have to hear about pre-draft workouts as well, but I don't see that one happening as well. Will mentions Keegan Murray will jump into the top 4 with Ivey falling. Now this is a bold take. I'm not seeing anything right now that will indicate that. I think the top 4 will be the 3 bigs and Ivey in any shape or in any type of order. I would be very, very shocked if Keegan Murray goes ahead of Jaden Ivey. And finally, T-Wolves better than everyone else says Dyson Daniels will be Rookie of the Year and average 18, 7, and 7. So I think going into this draft, comparing to Josh Giddey going into last year's draft, I think Josh Giddey was a more NBA-ready player, and I think he was projected to be a better player anyway. And even Josh Giddey didn't really put up those numbers. Now, he did from time to time, but Giddey averaged 13, 8, and 6. So, yeah. He's thinking Dyson Daniels will blow away at least 2 more of those thresholds because he thinks 18, 7, and 7 and win Rookie of the Year. I don't see Rookie of the... I mean, I'm trying to think because I feel like Jabari Smith, if he does go to Orlando, there's a lot going on in Orlando with young players wanting the ball, and Franz and Cole and Suggs and Fultz, Wendell Carter Jr., Isaac coming back. I don't think Jabari Smith's going to win Rookie of the Year if he goes there. I mean, Chet to OKC is an interesting one because of their just limited playing time in the front court, but who knows, maybe Chet gets, has an injury or it takes time to develop. Banchero, if he goes to the Rockets, would be a sneaky pick, or if Ivey went to the Rockets, would be a sneaky pick as well. I mean, Keegan Murray, Detroit, I don't really love, especially if they don't move Jeremy Grant. Shaedon Sharpe on Detroit, no, don't really like that. I mean, Ivey on the Kings, maybe, if he's like that third scorer behind Sabonis. I mean, if he passes Barnes, but I doubt that. I mean, it depends really where Daniels goes. Maybe if he goes to Washington, I could see him winning Rookie of the Year. Really can't see that if he goes to New Orleans. San Antonio, maybe, but I don't know if they would even draft Dyson Daniels. So it really just depends where some of these guys get drafted to. But if, Banchero goes through to the Rockets, that might be my preseason Rookie of the Year. Not saying he's going to have the best career. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's the best player in this class, but I think he might have the best statistical rookie season. So yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Me reacting to your guys' 2022 draft takes. Let me know if you guys enjoyed by dropping a thumbs up. I could do maybe another one of these once again, and maybe some draft night trades. You think that could happen? I could react to that. So if this gets 400 likes, I'll react to that. And yeah, I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.